I mean, Tottenham must have paid the old VAR a lot of money to over the weekend. I guess you're still a little bit butthurt by that. I mean, it couldn't have happened to a nicer club. It really couldn't have. Yeah, I mean, like it really couldn't have happened to. But no, you did get absolutely robbed. You did.
Oh, it's actually disgusting. Like, I didn't see the first half live, but I'm speechless with it all because it's just you don't understand. Like, how can it happen? Like, of all, and you hear the stuff that they apparently just he thought he gave it as a goal or something like that, and it's embarrassing. It's generally embarrassing. Like,
That
it
sort
cost
of
us what
level
could
of
have been 3 points.
that sort of level of miscommunication doesn't happen in any other workplace ever.
Yeah.
Like that's
Oh
sort of like
yes.
that standard of
That's just
miscommunication.
basic. Yeah. It's
It's
just I don't
I don't.
understand how they
But
can get it
again,
so wrong.
I think it's something what you said as well in a previous podcast. I think maybe one of the first ones we've done, and it just kind of epitomizes what's actually wrong with VAR. It's not necessarily the system; it's the people using it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
that's the big issue at the minute that I really can't get my head around, because again, it's just silly errors that you shouldn't be making as a professional. Yeah, VAR's been in the game
Yeah.
for how long now, and they're making mistakes as big as this at this sort of level. Yeah, Tottenham and Liverpool. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's the biggest game of the weekend. It was the biggest game of the weekend, and I think it's like you said, like the mistakes. And don't get me wrong, obviously, like for the other Kurt Jones ones, in my opinion, it's 50-50. So I'm not necessarily annoyed at the rest for it because it
I
looks
think
bad
it
when
was
it's
a
slowed
red.
down.
I
But I
think it
can
was a
see
red.
why it was given, so I'm not
Yeah.
necessarily mad at that because you've seen worse given, you've seen better, like whatever. And same with the Jota one, I think that was a stupidity from him. Stupid soft yellows, but it was his own fault. I don't think it was VAR. But to miss a goal, like a blatant goal, like that's comfortably
It would
onside
have
that
changed
everyone
the
could
game
see
as
with their
well.
naked eye, we'd have got 1-0 up. We could have gone on to win that game 2 or 3-1. Who knows? And the margins now in the Premier League, that can be the difference between top four and the title. Not saying we're going to be transiting for the title, but they're the games that make the difference coming into the season. And I think we definitely feel hard done by, as I said, with because it changed, as you said, it changes the whole game. To go 1-0 up away, massive for us. And for it to be so obviously onside, it's not even to have the lines or anything. It's ridiculous to think how they've missed it. It's generally embarrassing, to be honest. Like, and
Yeah,
that's the nice way of
when I
putting
was
it. I think
watching
it's
the game live on TV, they missed out the line, so just didn't show it.
yeah.
They just
It's
didn't show it.
supposedly because apparently the VAR guy, which was Darren England, I believe, he thought that the referee gave a goal. So he just assumed, oh, yeah, stick with the on-field decision because it was that clear. Like, I don't blame the ref for missing it because it happened so quick. That's fine.
The referee and the assistant
But
referee are fine. It's the VAR.
yeah, it's the Darren England on it to go, oh, I assume you've given a goal. We'll just say, stick with it, check over. But how many times have you sat and watched the game? Constantly happens here when I'm watching it and you're watching it and you see it first replay and you go, oh, he's onside. That's fine. And then 5 minutes later, they give you the lines. I could have told you that ages ago. Like, you can see it so obviously. And to see that and to think they've given offside or he assumes he's given a goal. And then for it to, as soon as obviously it's been started, you can't go back, which I think in this situation should have been different because
It
goals
was
are what
so
people watch in
blatant.
football. Yeah. And at the end of the day, football is built on goals. People watch goals, goals win games, goals win titles, whatever it is. So to stop what is an obvious goal, and I know he would have gone against his rules of like the refereeing rules, whatever, like that you can't go back once it's been restarted. But
It went against
I think
rules, but
people would
disallowing a
actually
blatantly good goal. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
So I actually think people would have respected him more, and he'd actually have the full support of all the clubs if he'd have done that instead of the
Yeah.
opposite, where it's almost like all the clubs are now against him, whereas it would have been the reverse if he'd have done it. And I think I don't understand what happens here. The statement and is all a bit stupid. It apologise. Doesn't help us if we now miss out on the league title by a point. It's generally a waste of time. No one's going to change anything. You can't give us
That's
a
the
point
thing.
back.
If it comes towards the end of the season and you miss out on a Champions League spot, winning the Premier League, yeah, that sort of like point margin, so to speak.
Exactly. It's like that nowadays. We've been there. I lost the title on 97 points and I think 95. Like, we know exactly what it feels like. And
So yeah, it
don't
could
get me
happen
wrong,
again.
there's
And
still 30
look,
games left.
but you'd look back at this game and you'd think,
oh yeah, it's ridiculous. And I think it's I generally you could talk about it all day because it's like you said. Like I said earlier, it's the idiots using it, and this week proves it more than anything. Because you can get the odd decision wrong, human error, that's fine. But this is meant to get rid of human error on such basic errors, and then you have another look at it to go, oh, that's a goal, that's fine. But no, the fact that it's one error building onto another error, which led to another error, it's generally embarrassing. And apparently, the referee didn't know that, or didn't know about the replay or something, or that it should have actually been onside until half time. So he went about 15 minutes not knowing that he actually gave the wrong decision because the VAR people apparently didn't tell him. They just wanted to leave it quiet. And then at halftime went, oh, mate, we fucked it big time on our side. So from what you hear, it actually makes it worse. It generally, like, you think, just shut up and stop talking about it. Just move on. It's embarrassing. Apologise. Get fined or something. God knows what's going to happen. But
yeah, no, I mean, I don't know what's worse, run the officiating in this country or the government in this country. You know, both in dire states. I mean, Joel Matip's goal was quite hilarious. An excellent finish. A finish.
Do you know? It was proud of. Oh, it was so annoying because I think we deserved a point. With 9 men, we defended so well.
But the fact
we did so well that second half.
If you're with 9 men, you also don't deserve all
I agree. Like I thought they might score a goal, but to think we got to the 95th and a half minute, whatever it was, seconds away from, we fought so well, and I haven't seen us defend that well. Like, I've been used to seeing us down to 10 men this season. It's happened a few times, but to see us down to 9,
4 red
and
cards
to actually be like so, like, I didn't think they didn't look like scoring Tottenham for me after they had a few shots from outside the box that Alisson saved. But after that, like, for the last 20, 30 minutes, it was just they were lumping the box and we were clearing it, and then we were winning a free kick, and that was the story. And I thought we looked comfortable. We defended so well, and for it to just be one mistake, it's just unfortunate for him and the team. But there's a lot of positives, I think, for us to take as Liverpool fans. But we'd have liked a point as well, because I think we really deserved one because of the situation with the refs and because of how well we fought down to 10 men, 9 men. So
yeah, no, I do have to give you your props. You did defend very, very well, and I mean, Tottenham, I think on the day, I think, you know, you got to give credit to Spurs. You really do. I think that they've grinded out results against you guys, against Sheffield United, for example, as well, on the old late show. And they've also picked up results where they play really well, and they've you know, absolutely triumphed over opposition. I think Spurs again. Yeah, maybe, you know, it didn't look like scoring come to the end of the game, but if you're scoring goals and winning games and you don't really like scoring, that's the look of a side that will do well.
I know what you're going to say, but you do have to take into consideration everything else that happened. Like, if we go 1-0 up, that's a different game.
Yeah, but you didn't.
If we disallowed a goal. So it's like Tottenham were good, and I'm not saying, like, I have no issue with Tottenham in this whole game because nothing in the game happened that was their fault. Like, it was all down to the officials and stuff. And like I said, Tottenham played okay from what I saw in the second half. There wasn't really much going on because it was against 9 men for a lot of it. So it's very much one-sided, possession based, just recycling the ball. As you said, it's definitely positive for them winning it, but the issue is that it'll be overshadowed by the fact of the situation. If that makes sense. Like, no one's the fact they won 2-1 and wherever they are in the league, I think they're a point off top and with 2 points off, something like that, is literally irrelevant to what happened. Because even from a football fan, you've got to look out of bias of, if this was any other club, apart from maybe Man U, it'd be different, but as in I wouldn't care as much. But the issue is it's that bad that, like, clubs and fans are going to start, like, not trusting when they go to VR now. Like, they're going to be there going like, wait a minute, you did this last week. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's a bigger picture than what I think people.
I mean, I don't think people had the most faith in VAR prior to the weekend.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. And now it's helped
their thoughts.
There's just nothing exactly. So they've got really big situations to try and, like, get out of. To be honest, and they've got to do it wisely. And I think the statement, as I said, never helps because it's so quickly and it's just like blatant human error. It's like, sometimes just leave it for a bit. And I think they
had to make that statement. They had to make that statement, didn't they?
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll stop collecting your tears from the weekend, and we'll move on to another.
It's fine. Wait till they come to Anfield. Nunes going to tear him a new one. Then we won't need VAR because he'll score 7, and then it won't need the VAR. We might concede 6, but that's irrelevant. We'll win 7-6. But yeah, moving on.